What's up? Today I'm going to be covering some misconceptions with regards to SAMRO. Everybody knows. Everybody likes to pretend like they know what's going on about anything, especially on this app. So I'm just going to just get right into it. There's a lot of things that people ask me and I'm like, where on earth, what? They're like, no, someone told me that. I'm like, forget about what they said. This is actually what's going on. And then I tell them, on top of that, please go to their website, have a look, and just confirm what I am saying is true. As much as I believe in what I'm saying, there is no way. I don't believe that I'm 100% right about everything. I do get things wrong. And who knows, I've probably gotten things wrong publicly. So any piece of information, this is just any piece of information, vet it. Just go and double check it, please. Anyway, let's jump right into it. So, first thing, is SAMRO a scam? No. I have been paid. I got a payment a week and a half ago, a week ago. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I actually haven't gotten to go and check and see how much, what payment it was. I know how much it was. I was very grateful because sometimes you just forget when you look at the distribution schedule, you look at it sometimes, you're like, but there are times when you just, you don't know that you're going to get a payment, but it's testament to me having put my music all over the place. Who knows where the payment came from. I've been earning royalties with the SAMRO now. This is actually my 10th year of earning royalties with SAMRO. It's been like they've never gotten the account details or whatever wrong. It's always been to the same account. Everything's been cool. So it's not a scam. Second thing, people have asked me which company is the best. They'll be like, between Capasso and SAMRO and Risa, which one is the best? And they say there's no such thing as a wrong question. Well, there are wrong questions. This was a wrong question is what I'm trying to say. The question was wrong. Therefore, I couldn't even give an answer. It's not a case of saying, which one is the best. It's more a case of saying, what does each one do? And when you figure that out, then you realize that you need all of them. There are alternatives. Let me actually just get into that now. There are alternatives. So you don't have to be a member of a specific PRO. You can go for another one. I know there's people who are sick and tired of SAMRO, even though they've only dealt with them for like 2 minutes. And they're like, or they've heard from a friend, they're like, don't go to SAMRO. So they end up going to BMI or wherever it might be in another country. And they'll happily accept you, but try calling BMI from South Africa. I mean, you can always do... there's all sorts of ways to do international calls now, especially to landlines. But there's it's just the context is easier to understand in South Africa. I understand what is going on. Like, as an example, explain load shedding to someone working at BMI. Sorry, it's not so clear right now. It's probably the load shedding. And, it's things like little things. And it's a silly example, but just context, right? You get to understand certain things, especially about your own industry, by being a part of the PRO based in your country. So why not do it? So should you only go with one? No, you're going to need all of them. So you'll need you want mechanical royalties? Go and register with rights organization for mechanicals. You want performance? Do the same with that. You want needle time? Go do the same thing with that. Which then brings me to the next question. I'm a member of DistroKid. Do I need to be a member with SAMRO? What does DistroKid get you? Royalties. What type of royalties? We're talking microsync now. So when your music gets played on DSPs, these are just service providers that play music. So Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, you name them. I'm not going to go through the list. If you are a member of those, you're only going to get paid money for your songs playing on those platforms and playing in the associated playlists attached to those platforms. So yes, if you are a member of DistroKid, you will definitely need to go find yourself a PRO. Again, doesn't have to be SAMRO. I know this video is primarily about SAMRO, but find yourself a PRO that you're happy with. Next question. Why do they pay so low? There's so many reasons as to why that might be the case. The low payment might be due to your music just not having played enough. A low payment might be due to it's low. We've got low payment, but then we've also got different distributions. Now, there's certain distributions that I expect to be high. Me, Silas, I expect them to be higher than my other distributions. So I know my TV sequencing distribution to be the highest every single year, round about March, April side, somewhere there is a TV sequencing payment that is made. I know that one's probably going to be my biggest because that's what I've focused on over the past decade. Now, there's other payments right across the board, and I don't know where some of them come from. I know the ones internet radio or something like that. There've been all these little bits and bobs here and there that I've received, but it's understandable because I haven't put time and effort into that thing. I'm only getting that payment by chance. That there's a young 50 Rand that popped out of there just because, there's my music has just so happened to play on some internet radio something briefly for a while over there. So that's what's going to happen. So your payments might be small. What you need to do, the easiest way to figure it out is to figure out if a payment did come through from SAMRO, understand what it was for. Again, this is, to creatives. Creatives don't enjoy it. The creatives, we're allergic to admin. Go to Google and type in SAMRO distribution schedule. You don't even have to mess with the SAMRO website. You literally will see a PDF on Google that is on the SAMRO website, but go in there and download that thing. It'll be the latest one, and you'll be able to see when the next payments are going to come through. Then go back to whenever it was that you got paid your peanuts and figure out what those peanuts were for. All right. Over and above that, there is a SAMRO, there's a distribution sheet that should be emailed to you. Again, email artists, not the best. Check your emails. You should have received something at some point. If you didn't get it, contact SAMRO. They might have wrong details. You might have lost your logins. Anything can happen with email, especially when you registered 15 years ago. So just to figure it out. They pay, whatever. Last one. Radio stations. Oh, the radio station won't pay you. So the money is not going to come directly from the radio station. The ecosystem is very it works like it's a loop. You release your music. After you release your music, you get it out there being onto any sort of platform. At that point, you then need to figure out whichever broadcaster has played it. They will then need to do reporting. Reporting happens. Reporting usually will then happen back to either your DSPs will report back to your streaming platforms will report back to your DSP. Your DSP will then pay you, or it'll be, say, the broadcaster will report back to SAMRO via Q-Sheet or whatever they use now. It's probably digital. And then there's information there. I might have gotten DSP, the definition for DSP, wrong earlier. Anyway, doesn't matter. SAMRO will then pay you, right? Again, when your music is played, say it's Capasso, whoever it is will then communicate with Capasso and let them know your song is played this and this many times in this platforms, whatever it is. Those places, so your DistroKid will pay you, your SAMRO will pay you, your Capasso will pay you, those are the organizations or the companies that are going to be the ones to pay you. So don't go to the radio station and say, give me my money. You can go to the radio station to check to make sure that, sure, was my stuff playlisted between this date and this date? This is the name of my song. Can I get more information? Their records should be good enough that they can assist you with such things. The other thing is that your stuff, maybe somewhere along the line, just because this system, one thing I have picked up is that this system has it's got too many points where there's human intervention. And with human intervention comes human error. And we see that with things like undocumented works. And literally, the human error could be from the artist writing it incorrectly. It could be from the data capturer. It could be from whatever systems. And I've seen that these companies have tried to remove the human in a lot of the places so that you're actually just typing in the information and it gets there. There's no human error where someone's like, is that an O or a 0 which is another thing. Don't, complicate the names of your tracks and that. Just, make it standard and simple to read. And obviously spellings should be decent. But then your music might be sitting in undocumented works. I know Capasso, SAMRO, they send emails out saying, yo, there's music here. There's money that's due to people. Come and collect it. go onto these spreadsheets, figure out whether your name is here, or if you have a song that's been playing, let us know and let's figure it out for you. Let's see if this money actually exists out here, because we have money. We don't know if it's supposed to go to you, but let's talk. Let's see whether in here somewhere we can find your stuff. Cool. So there's that, but then also not every broadcaster is going to pay you. They should, but from what I've seen, there are places that broadcast that are not going to pay you. It's tough now, just because if you go into the restaurant down the road and you hear your song play, it's tough. Who do you ask? You know, what playlist are you using? Are you reporting back to SAMRO? I know that every single establishment that should be playing their music publicly should be reporting back to SAMRO and should in effect have a license with SAMRO. It's difficult to police. Just thinking about it now, who polices that? Who makes sure that when you go to the gym, your corner gym, I'm not talking about like a Virgin Active, I'm sure they can have things in place, but if you go to a corner gym and you check out where the music is coming from, it might actually just be an iPod or an iPod. It might just be an iPhone that's plugged in to the aux, and that's where the music is coming from. I promise you, there is no one there sitting there and writing down who's playing what. So in those situations, it becomes tricky. Try going to a tavern and asking them where their SAMRO license is. I don't know if these are things that they're cracking down on. I just haven't heard anything recently. But yeah, if you go to like a UCT radio or like a Voice of Wits, royalties there, just forget. Same with some of your community stations. You're not going to necessarily make bank by getting your track playlisted on a community station, if anything at all. So just bear that in mind. So yeah, those were just a couple of questions. Yeah, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I will gather them. I will try and answer what I can, but I will gather them and I will do another one of these videos. If you like the video, let me know. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.